Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we are in Porto in Portugal, and this is the chapel known as Igreja da Lapa. Today we are going inside. So there's something haunting in the air. Maybe it's the faint scent of wax, the creak of wooden pews, the silence. You feel centuries of devotion and something else. Imagine the heart of a king still beating for a city, and a martyr in a glass coffin. It's a strange companionship, royalty and sainthood, flesh and bone, both sealed within the walls of a single church. Igreja da Lapa remains a working parish, but also a place of pilgrimage. Locals pass by daily, often unaware that they are only a few meters away from a monarch's preserved heart. Historians come for the symbolism, believers come for the sacred, and seekers like us come for the story, one that mixes power, death, and devotion into a tale as strange as it is beautiful. Now, Igreja da Lapa is beautiful. But as I said, there are two very, very interesting stories in this chapel. One is of the actual heart of King Pedro IV. His heart is sealed within the walls of the chapel, and it lies in an ornate gold and crystal urn. His heart, preserved for almost 2 centuries in formaldehyde. Dom Pedro IV of Portugal, or as Brazilians know him, Emperor Pedro I of Brazil, was a revolutionary. In Brazil, he declared independence from Portugal and became the nation's first emperor. In Portugal, he fought a brutal civil war for liberalism. But there's one city that remained fiercely loyal to him: Porto. When Pedro died in 1834, he made an unusual request in his will. Send my heart to Porto, let it rest with the people who defended freedom. The door is rarely opened, only on special occasions or anniversaries. This is actually the tomb where his heart lies. In 2022, it made headlines when his heart was flown back to Brazil for the bicentenary of its independence. Imagine that, a heart flown internationally like a dignitary. Now, construction of the church itself started in 1755. During the late 18th to early 19th century, work continued slowly due to financial and political issues. In 1863, the neoclassical main facade and final touches were completed. Now, despite the long construction period, the church retained a consistent Baroque and neoclassical style, which is still visible today, especially in its grand altars. The King's Heart isn't the only sacred fragment locked away in this church. On another altar lies something just as haunting: a richly adorned glass case filled with pearls, gold leaf, and bones. These are believed to be the arm bones of Saint Victoria, an early Christian martyr. Authenticity of such relics has always been debated, but what matters most here is veneration. Whether this really is Saint Victoria, it now rests here in solemn display, watched over by flickering candles and kneeling believers. She is one of many catacomb saints. Skeletal remains exhumed from the Roman catacombs in the 18th century, lavishly decorated and sent across Europe as relics. Though their precise identities were often unknown, they were referred as holy protectors. enshrined in glass and silk. Her bones wrapped in gold embroidery, crowned with pearls. They glow as if her martyrdom lives on in splendour and mystery. Whether or not this is truly Saint Victoria, she now watches over the chapel, arm outstretched, in eternal devotion. As we were leaving Igreja da Lapa, we were approached by a man working inside the church. Brought us over to this glass coffin. We walked across with him, and he said, "Here lies Saint Victoria." I started to film, of course, absolutely blown away by the beauty. And he even allowed me to put my light on, as you can see here. But he pointed to her arm that you can see right now, and he said, "They are the bones of Saint Victoria, her arm bones." And you can clearly see two arm bones in what appears to be lace. She wears lace gloves, and I do feel very blessed to have had the privilege of seeing this for myself, and so I wanted to share this with all of you. So if you are ever in Porto in Portugal, step into this quiet church where a king's heart beats in silence and the golden bones of a martyr stretch across silk in eternal rest. This is a sanctuary of sacred remains and secrets. With that being said, guys, take care, God bless, and I will talk to you all again soon.